Hello, I'm Jim, and welcome to Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast. This podcast is an exploration of a rich history, the stories and memories of those who made and make Rallying in America so great. Enjoy the show. Welcome back. This week, I talked to Mitch Meadows of MeLe Design Firm. We talk about his battery mount company, his media company, his rally beginnings, and starting his 6th year as a co-driver. Well, Mitch, thanks for being on the podcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know you have a busy week coming up.
Yeah, it is. It is formally race week for me, so
And
all
you're,
those fun things.
right, and you're co-driving.
Yeah, yeah, I get to sit in the silly seat as we call it.
Okay. And that's for Olympus. It's coming up.
Yeah, yeah, the third round of the national championship. So it's technically considered one of the two that are our home events. So I figure why not?
Oh, awesome. So how long have you been co-driving?
This is the start of year six for competition. So. Uh, I don't I don't think I'm a new hat at it anymore.
Okay,
We
awesome.
try to do four plus events a year, no matter how busy I get.
Mm-hmm. And you're pretty busy because you have technically two companies, correct?
Yeah, I own two very different, separate companies these days.
And one is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a battery box manufacturing company that makes them specifically for racing.
Yeah, I mean, actually, so that's kind of how we got started, just doing yeah, battery mounts, battery enclosures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we've kind of expanded to some other parts and billet and steel. But I'd say, yeah, what we are pretty well known and established for is making modular battery mounting systems. But like, our market is not motorsports. We
Oh,
do
okay.
marketing there, but like, I don't feel that we would be, motorsports is too niche to set up a truly American manufacturing company.
Okay.
Um, yeah, no, we have a lot of daily applications. Yeah, it's pretty broad. Show cars,
Okay.
trucks, off-road, side-by-sides, kind of have our hands all over the place now.
Okay. So I'm working on a 1963 Triumph TR4,
Oh,
and
fun.
and the everything was rebuilt about about 10 years ago, mechanically, but the body was left exposed to the weather and rotted away. So I have this chassis. It's a rolling chassis. I'm getting ready to get it started. So I'm going to reposition the battery for it. So your mount would be probably perfect for that.
We should definitely chat. I mean, we have a ton of sizes. I mean, when we got started 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we had one size, but that was because I was solving for a very, very particular niche. The VA chassis STI
Mm-hmm.
was our development vehicle. Um, but because of demand and how well we did that concept at launch, we got asked to start making them in various sizes for various vehicles. So, here
Mm-hmm.
we are, 7 years in, still cutting and bending and welding metal boxes and putting them in other boxes.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, we'll have to chat about this car because I'm not gonna get another body and put it on another TR4 body. I'd like to make my own body, design my own body, and put it on there. But I want to remount the battery location and put it in the back of the car because it's kind of in a precarious spot. It's like right in the middle of the dash, just on the other side of the engine side of the firewall. So I'm not real crazy about having that so close to me or my passenger. So yeah, we'll definitely have to chat about that.
We can chat about builds. We have quite a bit of use case data in very from demanding applications all the way to daily drivers. So
Okay.
we pretty much have something for everybody.
Yeah. And I know SCCA Rallycross requires a very secure battery too. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we have plenty of folks that we have quite the following on the West Coast for Rallycross. We have quite
Mm-hmm.
the national and international following for stage rally, and hell, we have stuff in Formula Drift and the GR Cup. Um, yeah, I mean, I pretty sure if I dug hard enough, I'd probably have stuff almost everywhere these days.
Right. So with the rally ones, I'm sure that's pretty good R&D for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's where we chose to do product development right out of the gate. We were very fortunate enough to land a lucrative deal with Dirtfish as an official school partner the first year we opened. So
Oh,
the
excellent.
data that we got by running them, believe it or not, like stage rally is one thing, but when you have like a school that is selling the stage rally experience and you essentially have rental cars that are running 7 days a week, the use case data that you get from those students are just horribly difficult on
I
school
can
cars.
I can imagine.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, same concept for like rental cars. Like nobody drives them and treats them as if they're their own. So it is the perfect place to essentially make a bulletproof mount.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's where we started, and we still do plenty of data collection, especially because like we're working with some insanely fast teams. So when mishaps happen at those speed factors,
Mm-hmm.
just naturally, the damage could be a lot more catastrophic. You can learn some important things from that. So our current product lines are still heavily influenced by stage rally and other extreme use motorsports, endurance racing, that kind of stuff.
Right. Right. Very cool. Um, and you have another company under the same name, Melee, and it's audio visual company. I guess you could say, or
Yeah, yeah,
media company.
it's a full-fledged media production company. We chose the same initial name because obviously I'm the founder of both companies,
Mm-hmm.
and the company got its start actually for shooting a product commercial, not just for the design company. Like we were doing our own in-house media for a good six
Okay.
months to a year. We shot a product commercial for Nameless Performance, and immediately signed a 1 year retainer with them at the end of that initial product shoot. So
Okay. Great.
I recognized early on that I needed to separate income sources and liability.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah.
and then we just like absolutely spawned that thing into its own animal. We do a lot of stuff in and outside of motorsports these days
Mm-hmm.
with the media company. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, anyway, but yeah, I mean, they both have Melee in their name. But yeah, they're definitely not the same company, not
Right.
the same employees that work for them. There is some crossover. Um, but yeah, they also are quite different.
So you're extra busy coming up for Olympus because not only are you co-driving, but your company is also going to be there. Your media company is going to be there covering the event. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, we're the official media partner for Olympus again this year. We've got technically 6 people on staff for this event because we're teaming up with
Mm-hmm.
Team O'Neill Rally School. We're doing a thing that will become public here really soon. Um, doing a whole new long format YouTube series as well as like same day event weekend content creation in the field with
Oh,
them.
okay.
So collectively, we have 6 people total under the Melee banner for Olympus. But I will not like actually as we get ready for when I head up Wednesday night, I will
Yeah.
turn reins over to my right hand, Ryan Lunt, and he'll manage the team in the field from there while I switch gears and try to read notes appropriately and not be the cause for putting us in the trees or off a mountain.
Right, right. Yeah. You got to focus. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been on the other end of that where you kind of overdo it
hmm
and it takes away your focus and then your performance is not where you want it to be or need it to be, and that's risky in this sport. So
right,
I
right,
I don't mind putting up those barriers, you know.
right. So, why don't you tell us, let's go way back and how you first got into motorsports?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the real like logical track, I'd always kind of dabbled with like autocross, just those super grassroots, affordable ways of taking whatever quick little tuner car I'd have at the time, and go do that. But I think the real trackable moment was in my early 30s when I started the manufacturing company. Um, while I was still a full-time charge nurse for the teaching hospital here
hmm
in Portland at OHSU, and that really just kind of spawned immediately into sponsoring some stage rally teams with our Dirtfish involvement, and then kind of a cornerstone of North American Rally, Karen Jankowski,
Okay.
who was actually one of the teams. She's a five-time national rally champion. One of the teams that we were sponsoring and working with. Um, just outsider on the fringe, asked if I wanted to come in and compete. And I took a training course with her, and then we did our first rally, which happened to be an international rally
Oh,
up in
nice.
Canada, Pacific Forest Rally. Um, so that was my first ever rally was up in Canada, and it was brutal. It was
Mm.
everybody, the entire field prepped for a gravel event,
Yeah.
and then this weird snowstorm hit. Nobody, literally, top teams all the way down to the bottom, had no snow tires, so everybody
Wow.
ran the event on gravels, including us. And I mean, Canadian rallies are super special just because like the transits are longer, the stages are longer on
Oh,
average.
okay.
They're just tougher, more robust rallies, and everybody couldn't believe that that was the first rally that I had chosen to be my first. They're like, well, if you don't quit the sport after this, then like you're staying the whole time. But I didn't know any better. I had
Right,
no
right,
idea. You get there and you've done your prep, and then Mother Nature throws a curveball, and I didn't know any better. But it was challenging. I can remember coming over some blind crests, and the pod lights at night would be blasting into the snow, and it looks like you're in Star Wars,
right,
at like hyper speed. And you're just like, oh, Jesus, I hope I called this right because like we were pointed in the wrong direction. I mean, we're gonna find out really quickly.
right. Yeah.
Um, but no, we actually got a finish. I didn't get any penalties for that rally, which is
Good.
kind of rare for your first ever. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was chaotic, but it definitely I mean, it had hooked me. I'd always been like an uber Colin McRae rally fan, but like had never taken any initiative to go watch one of these local rallies. I'm born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, so
hmm
like Olympus and OTR have been going on almost as long as I've been alive. I'm knocking on 40 now, and
Okay.
just had never knew they were that close. Never knew that I could go spectate or any of that. And then here I am in my early 30s, like literally knee deep in the passion.
Right. Excellent.
And then we've just escalated every single year.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about your driver and your car that you're taking to Olympus
Yeah,
this
we're
week.
yeah, we're gonna be car number 703. It's an '02 Acura RSX. Um,
Nice.
It's pretty fun because it has really cool history. Back in 2004, that car, under the same team ownership, Tabor Racing,
Mm-hmm.
won the national two-wheel drive championship. Mark Tabor won that championship in that car.
Oh, wow.
Um, and it's kind of just existed ever since. So Gabe Young and I are teaming up for that. This will be our second rally together. We debuted as a team at Oregon Trail last year,
Mm-hmm.
and so Gabe he's super young, literally like 21 years old, no gravel experience, like none.
Oh,
Kid can
okay.
wheel a car, like super, his ability, he's just in tune, very quick. We went from 65th on the road for OTR, back of the pack,
Uh-huh.
for his first ever rally. And by the end of day three, or the start of day three, we were 35th overall.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, you cut it in half.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so we had immense pace up until the second to last corner of that event. And we had a pretty big roll at 80 miles an hour.
Ooh.
But both were entirely okay. Safety gear did its job, and somehow the cage was not compromised. We got the shell signed off
Wow.
and reskinned the whole thing in the off season. And
Mm-hmm.
now for this year, we're coming back to do 4 to 5 rallies, assuming that we can keep it on the road and in
Right.
one piece. So we
Okay.
have some pretty ambitious plans. We're coming into national two-wheel drive for Olympus and OTR.
Mm-hmm.
And our intent is to mess with Chris Sear, the owner of Team O'Neill, who is
Okay.
pretty much the dominant two-wheel drive force this season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we're coming for him. Our hope is to interrupt his points run while he's on the West Coast. So
Okay.
we'll see if that goes well. I'm eating crow at the end.
Right.
And absolutely dog slow. I don't think we'll be anywhere in the middle. It'll either be blistering fast
Yeah.
or tragic wreck or mechanical.
Yeah. Hopefully not the two latter. So yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Nobody likes wrecks or
No.
DNFs on their
No.
records. So,
No. Definitely not. So even going further back, what was your first car? If I ask.
oh, I got a fun one. I was just turned 16, bought a 1994 Honda Civic hatchback.
Uh
The
huh.
typical the chassis code was an EG Civic. Um, and I think I paid like 4,500 bucks for that thing back in the day,
Okay. Yeah.
and it did not stay stock long at all. I had friends in high school. Their older brother was importing containers from Japan, so we immediately got a JDM 1.6 liter all motor swap and put that in there like pretty much right when I got the
Wow.
car
Yeah.
and started modifying it. And then we decided he had an odds and ends thing in one of the containers one month, and found a legitimate ready TD05 turbo kit that was intended for an Integra back over in Japan, and we were able to custom fab some stuff and get that on there. And so then I got my first taste of forced induction, all while being in high school, and I've never gone back.
Oh yeah.
It's been trouble ever since. Um, you just get a new tune and supporting mods and crank up the boost and you have more power. And
Yeah.
yeah, but that spawned the tuner car era. Like I just love Japanese engineering, Japanese tuner cars.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so that's kind of where I comfortably exist even now as I'm
Uh
going on
huh.
40. Still still always have a pretty quick tuner car in the stable.
Yeah. You'll like this. Growing up, my one of my older brothers was studying to become an airplane mechanic, and so and this is early '80s, early mid '80s, and he went to work for one of the first Honda mechanics, like in our area.
Oh, fun.
And so they had the little tiny Civic. It wasn't the excuse me the 600 generation that real. It's still really small, but it was kind of the newer one that came out. And this guy turned one into a drag car. He tubbed out the back. He had big, wheelie bar, the bars in the back and everything. It was crazy. And never forget, he had Animal from the Muppets painted on the side of it. I wonder where that car is now. But yeah, it was kind of funny to see someone take such a tiny little car and turn it into a dragster.
Honda, if you look at like the history, the Civic has always had this interesting draw for like off-label use, I would call it,
Yeah.
because their power to weight was always favorable and very like seriously on par or even better than like American Muscle
Mm-hmm.
for the same time that the cars would come out. And it still holds true. Like
Yeah.
the Civic following and tuning scene is massive, especially now that we have like the FK8 and the FL5 Civic
Right.
Type Rs. And now like the RSX or the Integra is back.
Yeah.
Um, and like gorgeous looking, that even though it's like a, a luxury variant,
Yeah.
they're quick and they're good looking. But yeah, they still have a cult following. I still have a soft spot for Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a company project going on right now. It's a 2000 MRS or MR2
Mm-hmm.
that is getting a pretty beefy K24 swap put in it.
Nice.
So yeah, we still always have a nod to Hondas.
Yeah, I'd like to see more Hondas in stage rally.
Yeah, I mean they are pretty robust vehicles. Like their
Yeah.
motors can just take a beating. The RSX, surprisingly, I think it's a little bit too quick of a car for Gabe's experience level. But like I
Okay.
said, the kid can wheel it. Like they're a weapon. Like they don't launch off the start, so you're always making up that deficit compared to the four-wheel drive counterparts, both
Mm-hmm.
naturally aspirated and turbocharged. But once you get it up to speed, it is entirely a momentum car.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and that's where we make up a good chunk of time is just keeping it in a rhythm
Mm-hmm.
and keeping it at speed. So it's surprisingly fast. I like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep a eye on you guys on Rally Safe
Yeah,
this
yeah,
coming
that and
weekend
sneak
and check it
attack.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, and Sneak
We are
Attack,
we're
right?
gonna be yep, we're gonna be making a big old stink. I have a paid bounty out against any two-wheel drive competitor going against Chris Sear, just to stir up the odds. All in good fun. Like Chris and I are actually really good friends
Yeah. Okay.
outside of the sport. So, but like we love to give each other a lot of shit. So now that I'm going from filming them and working with them to racing against them for these next two rounds, we're going to put a little bit of heat on them. So right now the pot is $400 to the first two-wheel drive team, regional or national, that beats Chris on a stage.
Oh, very
So
nice.
yeah, and I think that pot might grow a little bit more. There's some private funding behind it that yeah, it's gotten some traction.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep upping it a little bit until we
Right.
actually get to race day. So
Well, it's probably a little too late, but I'm sure you could probably fabricate a trophy for the next
yes,
time.
it's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have OTR as well. So yeah, this is just gonna allow us to get out there and kind of bench test
Yeah.
ourselves. When you have a new driver, I don't actually encourage them to pay any attention to times at all.
Right.
Um, I think a lot of it for Gabe will be just dusting ourselves off, even though we just did a private test day as well
Yeah.
a few weekends ago ahead of this event. But he just needs to get a good finish under his belt, and then we'll work on more speed and consistency as we get those finishes.
Yeah. It's just for him to gain experience and
Yep.
get comfortable. Yeah.
There is no replacement for experience, I feel, in a lot of things, and stage rally is definitely that. Like yeah, it just takes time to acquire that experience. And
Right.
especially when you're juggling a few other things when I don't do this professionally, don't
Mm-hmm.
have any aspirations to, although I've had, gone to some really good training schools, been trained by the best of the best in the
Mm-hmm.
sport now. I do this for my therapeutic release, so
Oh, nice.
I just go there to have fun. And no matter what we're doing company wise, even if we're not involved in the sport, somewhere down the road, I will still be competing and finding ways to help out.
Very cool. So after Olympus, what's next on your calendar?
Well, originally it was going to be an Ultra 4 race in Utah, is what's like on the formal work schedule, but we
Oh, okay.
have that might be getting shifted. The media company is doing some very interesting political public affairs ad campaigns, and we're kind of changing the way the state of Oregon is doing political ads.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we are kind of entrenched in that and are working on that literally right up to when we leave
Mm-hmm.
for the race. So I think that's unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it,
Right.
that's going to be where we have to spend a lot of our time just because there's some pretty big clients with time deadlines and needs, and we have, a reputation on the line. So
Right.
that's probably what's going to be happening up and like right up until Oregon Trail. Um,
Okay.
we'll probably be doing that. We don't have any major travel for that, but then it really ramps up as we get
Mm-hmm.
ready for Southern Ohio Forest Rally after OTR. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing. Probably going to do a big commercial shoot for Jags because they're a client.
Oh, very cool.
Um, yeah, we are Jags marketing team. They don't have an internal team, so
Okay.
the media company has some pretty fun automotive clients as well. So
Yeah.
we're trying to do a shoot because they're headquartered out of Ohio. So they've got a good budget for a cool commercial shoot that we want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
we try to time that Southern Ohio, and then we're going to do something that I can't quite talk about with some fun athletes at VIR probably afterwards in multiple cars. So
Oh, okay.
we're going to shut the track down and do some stuff to promote female athletes since VIR is a female-owned motorsports track.
And that's the Virginia International
Yep, yep.
Raceway. Yep.
Yep, there'll be a lot more media on that as it comes out, but we're in the prelim stages of there's some pretty ambitious and fun ideas to for us to direct some commercial stuff out there. So we're gonna probably be gone for like 3 weeks around
Okay.
Southern Ohio, but
Yeah.
it will be a good time. So
You had mentioned Ultra 4. Have you been to many of those events?
uh, we are at the largest one every single year because we are the media team for Ford Performance in the off-road space. So we
Oh, okay.
go down. This was our third year with that deal in place. So we're at King of Hammers for 3 weeks, actually, every single January.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay. Yeah. In that
yeah. So
city that erupts out of nowhere, right?
yes, we are kind of known in that space because of our work with Ford. We helped Ford launch their TikTok there a few years
Oh,
ago.
really? Very cool.
Um,
Very nice.
uh, and then yeah, now we represent a few of their drivers independently at the same
Hmm.
time while they're there. So yeah, we know the Ultra 4 space pretty well. Odds are we'll end up getting talked into doing a few other events since it sounds like Utah's not really going to materialize like we initially had thought. So
Hmm.
Brandon is a big one that we'll end up doing in the Midwest probably this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
So Ultra 4 is cool. That's a completely different world. It's the desert and rock donkeys, as we call them, as they
Yeah.
self-identify.
Yeah.
Um, they're I thought Stage Rally was mental, and then I went to King of Hammers and was like, oh, like this is just on a different level.
Oh, yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I missed it. I really wanted to go. I couldn't because of schedule wise. There's a big Ultra 4 event here, kind of in my backyard at Roush Creek.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I want to get up
They,
to that next year for sure.
they have the regions much like American Stage Rally,
Hmm.
where they have them East Coast, Midwest, and then West Coast for like their smaller events, and then they have some bigger ones that they try to get people to jump across the country to come to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's truck racing and the side by sides. It's yeah, they're just so damn fast, and short course stuff is so. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
easy to spectate.
Okay.
It's easy to go to. You get a little bit more. It's like going to a track, so to speak. Like you get more than just one corner compared to
Okay.
stage
Oh,
rally. So,
okay.
and you can walk around the whole thing, generally speaking, depending on the course layout, and see different variations of the heats and races, and it's very spectator friendly.
Oh, yeah. And we also have just on the other side of Roush Creek is we have Big B Motorsports, which is big into Ultra Four, and they seem to always do well at King of the Hammers, and they're just up the road. I know it's not very rally specific, but I would love to go up there and talk to them at some point. So
Yeah, I mean, I just love motorsports in general. I
yeah,
mean, we have some exposure because of the media company and the manufacturing company to various types of racing, and I I can find reasons and ways to love it all, you know?
right. Very nice. I really appreciate you coming on and just chatting for a little bit. Know you're
Yeah, no,
busy
thanks
and
for having me.
you got a long week coming up, and um,
Yeah, I love what you're doing. I appreciate the invite on, and I look forward to seeing who you get to chat and what stuff you uncover with them.
yeah,
There's a lot of fun, interesting characters in this sport, and I think that's what keeps me coming back year after year, is just those bonds that you have
yeah,
with a lot of them, you know? So,
yeah, definitely, definitely. And I've got quite a bit coming up, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm learning so much, which is I'm doing this for fun, kind of a passion project. So I really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to um, talking to you again. See how things went at this rally, Olympus, and so on. So
yeah, I hope we have some very fun stuff to report back, like we mess with Chris a little bit,
yeah, yeah,
in a
and
good way, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to come in and see anybody dominate any one
right,
of the segments of the sports. So, but no, Chris is a good guy. There's a lot of
yeah.
fast competitors out there, and this rally is going to be absolutely brutal. 140 stage miles,
Oh wow,
um, 87 entries as I checked today. Like no joke, they didn't cap it.
yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be a fun to
it's
watch.
there's I mean I've done and completed this rally several times, and I know how challenging it is, even with a slightly smaller field. So the
Mm-hmm.
roads are typically, a little rougher, if not the roughest at the national level, I feel. And that's what makes Olympus, right? Like
Yeah,
nods back to the groupie era when it was last run in '86 here. And
exactly.
so with that many cars, you'll have wrecks, you'll have canceled stages, you'll have delayed stages, you'll
Yeah,
have mechanicals, and so um, it'll be yeah. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how people strategize just to finish this. Like this is one of those ones that it is really. It's not even about pace out of the gate for most of the
mm-hmm.
classes competing. I feel it's literally about just staying kind of within the fight,
Right.
but just finishing it because so many other people will be worried about getting out of the gate and then they're going to be pushing their limits or luck, and it'll just take them out of the fight. It happens every single
Yeah,
year. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. I wish you the best, and I look forward to see who gets that bounty, and should be interesting.
yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, thanks again. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I'm excited.
All right. And again, thanks for coming on, and I know you got a busy week, so be safe out there, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, Jim. Have a good one.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. If you'd like to be on the podcast, you can email me, jim@jimboothdesigns.com, or message me through Facebook at Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast, or Instagram, rallying _in_America. Special thanks to our sponsor for this episode, Brady Instruments, pro-grade, handmade, professional fuel hydrometers. Visit bradyinstruments.com for all of your fuel testing needs. And remember, don't be a fool. Check your fuel. Thanks to Toontank and the artist Nuclear Wave and their song In Drive for the podcast theme music.